tells one, hey, you're going to do good. Tells the other one, it's a bad day for you. And that's exactly the way it works up. What am I saying in all this? What I'm trying to say to you is this, is that Joseph went through all these things and ended up exactly like God said he would in the end. He was second in command. Because no matter what he went through, he still rose to the top. How many have ever heard that story? Cream rises to the top. You can't stop it. When you know your purpose, the devil can't stop you. But trouble will come your way. And all through society, God has cast his eye on people that have a heart after him and faith to believe. That's all it takes. And he will do extremely wonderful and exciting things for you. But you will go through pressure. I told people on Wednesday night, there's a scripture in 2 Corinthians chapter 2 that says this, and God will diffuse the fragrance of his knowledge in every place like sweet perfume. They don't do it today. They have the spray bottles, don't they? But how many remember the old bottles years ago? The old bottles had what? Had a bulb. And what you did, you had the perfume, and you had that bulb. And it would draw and push. And once that air mixed with that perfume, it came flying out. But you had to squeeze that bulb to get the perfume. And God's going to squeeze you to get out the very essence of his life. In your pressure will come out his fragrance. Are you willing to go there? Or would you rather struggle with the economy and the government and the people in the land? As for me and my house, I'll take him every single. So Joseph is under bondage. He's going through all this stuff. We're in Genesis chapter 31, and then 32, and then 36. Tells you a little bit about Jacob and Esau. 37 is Joseph's dream. 39 is where Joseph is in Potiphar's house. It says in chapter 2, or chapter 39, verse 2 of Genesis, the Lord was with Joseph. Where is he? He's in Potiphar's house. The Lord was with Joseph, so he succeeded in everything he did as he served in the home of his Egyptian master. Potiphar noticed this and realized that the Lord was with Joseph, giving him success in everything that he did. Over on in 40, it says in verse 8, and they replied, who are they? The butcher and the baker. We both had dreams last night. No one can tell us what they mean. And so Joseph tells them the dream. Now Joseph's in command, and his brothers come. Now, you know what's amazing about all that? He not only cries for his brothers, but there is one in the midst. It's his son. It's his brother, I mean, from his mom, Benjamin. And when he sees Benjamin, it says he wept so bad he had to run to the back room and weep uncontrollably, then gather his senses and back out and talk to his brother. Because that's dearest to his heart, Benjamin. And so the whole story, I could go on and talk about this. You need to go home and read it. It is a fantastic story. What I'm saying to you, Joseph is a type of church. Joseph is a catalyst that says, if you want to see the role of the church, look at Joseph. Because it went through all these things to be second in command. Well, how can it be second in command, Pastor? It's second in command because the church is the bride of Christ, stands right by his side. And the church has to go through what it goes through to be triumphant. I find it interesting that in this day and age, people are saying, well, God's going to have to do something. God's going to show up on the scene. God's the one that's going to go ahead and transcend everything. And I suggest to you that if he's going to do it, it's going to come through the saints. But the saints have to find out what their assignment is. Kristen was telling me she went and saw Captain America. I want to go see it, because I heard it's a great movie. She said it was a great movie. And whoever, I don't know who produced it or who wrote it, but they were pretty intelligent. You know why? Because they took the audience and just went, got you right there. She said, you watch the first couple minutes of the movie and you are sucked in. Can't leave. You know why? Because he's a little, scrawny dude. And he was told his whole life, you'll never be anything. You'll never amount to much. But she said he doesn't have much in the way of strength physically. But he's a quick thinker. He's a quick thinker. So he can just go and just come to the solution right away. So he goes through all this, and finally somebody takes a liking to him. And all of a sudden, here you are in the middle of the movie. You said, those bullies deserve judgment. And then all of a sudden, it's Captain America. He comes to the scene. Everybody loves that. Everybody loves that. Because they want to see people succeed. Don't you want to see people succeed? Don't you want to see them thrive and prosper? When you go to a hospital, does it move you that people are sick? It's one thing for me to see adults sick. It's another thing when I see kids sick. When I went to Arnold Palmer Hospital for a little Caden, I had to swallow hard. Because I wanted to run through those hospital walls and just say, free, 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 free. Get out of there. Kids don't belong in a hospital. Everybody's done it. But you have to have faith to believe it. You have to have faith to believe that what God said in His Word, He will cause to happen. And you've got to say, enough is enough. I'm not going to live this way anymore. I have the same struggles you do. But time and time again, I keep coming back to the same answer. He is the way, the truth, and the life. And here I sit, worrying about me and how much money I have, and worry about where I'm going and what's going on with Vince Kuda, when in reality I should be saying, it's not I that live, but Christ that lives in me, and I will let you squeeze me until every bit of perfume is poured out on someone else. Are you ready to go there with me? Can you go there with me? This morning, can you just take one little leap of faith and say, today I change. Today I'm not living in mediocrity. Today I won't be that same person. Today I have decided, if God is willing, and so am I. Just like being in the service. You know, you all lined up. They say, the drill sergeant says, I want you to all line up right here. So everybody lines up, and he says, I need a volunteer. Doesn't tell you what it's for, but I need that volunteer. I need that young man to step forward. And so the scrawniest man in the whole battalion, or whatever you want to call it, the whole platoon, the whole unit, everybody else looks at one another and says like that, and they all go like this and step back. And all of a sudden, he finds himself propelled into volunteering. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. If you said, God, if I had $1 million, this is another wonderful, and another cliche. People say, Pastor, if I win the lottery, you are one rich person. And so you know what I do? I do this. I'm waiting. I'll hold my breath. I'll die in the process. If I was a rich man, I guarantee you I would... No, don't do that. Just start off with little steps. Start off by tithing. Start off by giving offering. I'm going to let Mr. Larry take the tithe and offering this morning. But are you ready to live by faith? Are you tired of where you are? Let me tell you something. They're going to start stripping things away. Because there is no money. Everybody's broke. Have you noticed that? I say to myself, man, it's green light, go for God. Because they've got nowhere to turn. You know, people I work with do lots of government programs. And there is no money anymore, so the government money is dried up.